All right, y'all. Oh, well, I think I started early, but all right, y'all. So, as you can see, we got some more tragic story coming from the Will Smith and Jada Pickett Smith situation. Now, as you can see here, it says Jada Pickett Smith never wanted to marry Will and cried at horrible wedding. Now, if you don't know the situation, she feels like she was pressured by her mother to get married. Now, every mother and father should want their daughter to get married because there's nothing more scary than a woman that is out here by herself, unsupervised, not watched, just no protection at all. Okay. Now, I'm not saying that a grown woman can't take care of herself, but us as humans, we're not meant to be alone. All right. Just most men had the common decency to at least die alone and not be bothered by it. All right. When in other cases, you'll have women that do complain about not finding good men and things like that. But that's not the topic here. The topic is this woman here she just can't give Will a break. Will's going through everything, damn it. But let's look at the comments here because there were certain ones that I wanted to point out. All right, let's go to the comments here. When will this Will Smith crap be over so we go back to our normal Kim and Ye? Yeah, see, look, man, I couldn't be famous personally. That unnecessary attention, I like to keep things in proper perspective and under the radar. All right, let's see here. She has had every opportunity to lead this man. She getting exactly what she wants, attention. I'm moving on. Well, there you go. I respect that, Miss Tammy. I respect that. At this point, he should leave Jada, especially since she didn't. She didn't want to marry him anyway. That was the thing about it, y'all. She just didn't want to marry him. He should go back to his first son's mother. They seem to have good chemistry. At least she respects him. Yes, fellas, it is important to get a woman that respects you, or else you're going to have to deal with a whole bunch of unnecessary, unadulterated bullshit. You already got to go through a lot in life, young man. Okay? The last thing you need is a woman that's openly willing to disrespect you and not respect certain principles. All right? If she's going to be a headache, just leave her alone. All right? If she's going to be willing to go out in public and tell y'all's business, see, I think that's the biggest problem, if anything. They're out there doing what they do. I guess you would call them swingers, but they're out there doing what they do. The only difference was Jada was willing to tell the whole world what was going on. You didn't know what was going on with Will until this came out, as far as I know. Let's go on here. Will Smith loving a woman who doesn't even respect you. You should have got rid of her years ago. Your marriage is a shame, but you already know this. Yeah. It's a shame, but you know what? It falls on him because he was chasing. It's not the fact that he was chasing after her, but that was one of the problems. But two, he knew this woman did not love him. He's constantly trying to prove his love to this woman. First off, brothers, you be in love with the Most High. Understand what your purpose is. Like I said, a woman is an addition to your life. It's not a need. All right. And now what I mean by that is the right woman will come to you and she will fall in place with the things that you already have. But you have to understand who you are first, what you're doing, and have a plan of action. If woman comes in, she wants marriage. If you want marriage, you let her know. Okay, these are the things that I need you to do and show over a period of time so that I get to know you and things like that. I need to understand who I'm dealing with that's trying to come into my life. Now, if you feeling, baby girl, hey, don't let your feelings get in the way of a good or bad decision. Understand this woman comes with her own baggage. That's fine. We all got our own problems. But understand and be willing to get to know this woman. Take your time with that. All right. She already committed adultery. At this point, he needs to leave and give his life to God. He needs deliverance. Too many spirits in that marriage, no room for will. That's what you get for marrying a worldly woman. Now that is a good statement. However, she did not commit adultery. And the reason why, let me explain something to y'all. Concubines is nothing new. All right. Jada is a concubine. Tupac understood this. And for those of you that don't know what a concubine is a woman that is of service to the king that is of lesser status than the wife. I'm going to say that again. A concubine is a woman that lives, it could be a man, but we're just understanding context here, is a woman that lives with a man that is of lesser status than his wife. What does that sound like? That's a hoe, y'all. I ain't gonna sugarcoat the shit with you. That's a hoe. Jada, she don't carry herself like a wife. All right. And for those of you that try to say, "Oh, how you gonna determine what a wife is?" Listen, men know what a good woman is. They know what a good woman looks like. If a man has actually been out there in the world and have had some experience. Now, how he treats that said woman is up to him. All right. Good women come far few in between. And this is not adultery. Like I said, now Abraham was blessed with some concubines. All right. If I'm not mistaken, Saul was blessed with some concubines. The Most High has blessed some of these men with some hoes. I know that may sound far-fetched, but even if you guys don't believe me, just Google. Matter of fact, we on here. Let's go to Google real quick. Where's my Google at? Here we go. When did God bless a man with concubines? The Bible never explains why God allowed men to have concubines. He allowed divorce polygamy too, although neither was part of his original. Let's go to it. Just so you guys could look at this, it's giving you the direct verses here. A concubine could not marry her master because of her. Well, hang on now. That's not exactly what I'm looking at. Well, some slaves. Okay, now this is talking in the context of slaves. Okay, so guys, I'm gonna talk about this in another video, but most so-called woke motherfuckers want to bring up, oh, well, God allowed slaves in the Bible during that time. First off, most slaves were prisoners of war. Let's get that straight. If you lost a war and you was a political figure, you got killed. Most men got killed. The women and children were taken into slavery. And the kids, matter of fact, no, scratch that. The kids that were weak got killed as well. Kids that showed some promise, strength, that took order correctly, they maybe had a chance to live as slaves. All right. So for those that I'm gonna provide more context for that in another video. But for motherfuckers that want to be quick to pull stuff out of the Bible, want to do certain verses, they're not giving the full context of how things were at that time and what it meant to be a slave during that time. A slave at that time, you were not meant to be in servitude for hundreds of years. It was only meant for the time being. You were to serve off your debt or you were a war prisoner. All right. Even back, I give you a year. I wanted to save some of this information for the video, but it wasn't but maybe, I want to say, what, 200-300 years ago, where it was socially acceptable, where you would put yourself into slavery if you could not pay off a debt with liquid money or assets. You would then work the land for that said person that you owed money to. But that would only be for a certain amount of time. All right. But let's stay on my original point because I don't want to get sidetracked here. Let's get back on Facebook. All right. This woman is thirsty for attention. She would pretend anything don't first off, don't get a woman that likes attention from a lot of people. Let's see. There was one more comment I wanted to look at. Kevin Samuels has entered the chat. I may do a video on Kevin Samuels, y'all. I don't know. If I can fit in the schedule, I will. Okay, this is the one I wanted to get to. Leave Will and his wife alone. That's why me smacking nigga, or I think she meant to say men. But why men smacking niggas now? You may be next, I'm just saying. Neither one of them is going nowhere. Talk about something else. He a Libra. We do that when we tired. First off, I don't believe in that zodiac sign shit personally. I don't believe that when you're born, your character is determined by your character, your personality is determined by how the stars are aligned and the planets and all that shit. No. All right. You are gifted with your personality through the Most High. Let's just get that straight. But the problem is most people don't take that time to understand who they are. Now you got some people that are taking these depression pills, anxiety pills, all this shit. They're taking all these things because they don't know what makes them tick. Young man, have you ever noticed whenever you are dealing with a chick and you're asking questions about her, she's like, I don't know. I don't know. Like, girl, how do you not know? That woman has not taken the time to get to know herself. But then she wants you to know her and understand her. Fuck out of here with that shit. Look, man, deal with people who know who they are. They know what they come with. I'll tell y'all like this. I can respect the hoe. I can respect the hoe that tell you she a hoe. I can't respect the hoe that say she not a hoe. Because at least a hoe that's truthful and honest, which is going to let you know up front. All right? These type, some dudes, for the ladies that are watching, dudes that don't know themselves, get the fuck up out of there. Men that are dealing with women, they don't know, hell, what about themselves, get the fuck up out of there. Because they're not going to know what to do in certain situations. Now, you don't want to put your woman in a bad position, but you're going to want your woman to be able to handle some things. And if she's the type to be that fragile, she's meant to be able to handle some pressure, not all of it. And if she's just the type to fold up, that's not the type of woman you need. All right, let's look at a couple more, and then we're going to get up out of here. This is what happens when you're weak, never love anyone more than you love yourself. Hey, that's that Thali Ma shit right there. What I mean by Thali Ma, that's do as thy will. That shit right there, you got to be careful with. There's too many people out here who are constantly, it's not that they're putting themselves first. It's just the fact that they love themselves more than anything, more than the Most High, more than how they treat other people, things like that. She certainly is more infatuated with a so-called dead man than she is her own husband. And that's the terrible part about it. All right, this is the last. Oh, we're going to look these two. This one from, I ain't going to say her name, but I think it's crazy how some women act towards another woman who doesn't choose to walk the path the most fine ideal. All she did was share a moment of vulnerability, and yet again, she's the one to blame for, I don't know, having feelings. Oh, see, she on that bullshit. Shake my head. I used to holler daily, I'm never having kids. I don't want to be a mom. Well, look, let me finish this first. And guess who's a mom of three now? Some things can change you. Some things scare you so much that you don't know how to handle it, how you will handle it. But you try anyway. In either case, you're allowed to feel what you feel and even wait for it, change your mind. Okay, look, first off, this the type of shit that's going to get you into some bullshit. All right? Young men, there is no safety net to catch you. All right? Now, like I said, I mean, with the Most High, you as a man, you have to have foresight and understanding of how certain things work. You can see certain things coming before it gets to you. Okay? But with that, you have to also understand that The Most High is going to be there for you. He wants to see the best for you. All right. But in this world, you don't necessarily have a safety net like the government or anything to catch you when you fall. Sometimes you will fall flat on your face. All right. Now, with this type of woman right here, I'm not going to make no just judgments here, but I'm going off of what she read, off of what she wrote. This is a type of woman, she's going against her own nature, saying she'll never have kids. Well, if the Most High didn't bless you to have kids, then okay. But say, I don't want to be a mom. I'm going to be real with y'all. I'm going to say something here, and a lot of folks ain't going to like that. That's fine. But a woman's purpose is to be of service to the man, a helpmate to the man. You are an example, an extension of him. All right. This goes to what I was saying earlier about the marriage thing. Matter of fact, let me explain something to y'all real quick. And I'll explain this in a marriage video. What is the purpose of marriage? I'll explain that in another video. But the purpose of marriage is from the passing of ownership from your father to your husband. A woman is to not be out here by herself under the tutelage of no one. That is not how it's supposed to go. Too many women will lead themselves into chaos. All right. Why do you think when in a marriage ceremony, the groom is already up there with the pastor, preacher, or bishop, and he's waiting for his wife and who? Her father to walk down the aisle, and he then passes his daughter to him. Why do you think most men, and this is the way you're supposed to do it if you're doing it right, why do you think a man has to ask the father, or if the father isn't there, then the mother, for their blessing to marry their daughter? Why is that? Because it's a passing of ownership. All right. It's too many women. It's a lot of young men out here. And that's why, like I said, this is one of the purposes of the channel. I want these young men to understand what it is that your purpose and your role is. Not necessarily find out what your purpose and your role is. Here, let me backtrack. I want men to understand certain things. All right. That's why I say understand who you are. Understand discipline, the importance of certain topics and certain things. I'm gonna get into some more topics, but I want men to understand, young men especially, and even more especially the so-called black man. Understand your importance here, because there's too many women out here that did not have any structure growing up, and they're out here and they are fucking up. You fucking with the wrong woman can fuck up your life. No one can destroy a kingdom faster than the queen. And you see what the fuck Will Smith is dealing with Jada. He picked the wrong woman. Granny had a woman beforehand. He should have stayed with her. I agree with that woman from earlier. All right. Now, I'm only using Will and Jada as a backdrop here for this video. I personally do not care, but it's a good example of a woman that is out of control and a man that is not the lead of the relationship. This shit is in fucking chaos. All right. Men, you display what and how things are going to go. You love and you listen to your woman, especially if she is a woman of wisdom. All right. Y'all talk to each other. Y'all don't argue. Y'all talk to each other. And then y'all come to a mutual agreement. All right. Nothing wrong with listening to your woman and understanding things, because like I said, if she is a wise woman, she could possibly see things that you don't see. But the main thing is, the main course of action is, brothers, you got to be a leader. You can't be in a relationship and not willing to lead your woman. Any woman that's been the lead of a relationship, that shit did not last. Or she was out there dealing with a motherfucker that was leading her straight to the bedroom, damn it. All right. Let's see what else. Oh yeah, this is the last one right here. Jaden 23 and she 50. Makes her 27 when she had Jaden, not 18. I wish these stories would just stop already. It's old crap. Well, most women, now I understand that they say, oh, women mature faster than men. I will say that to an extent. The reason why I say that to an extent is women have to make a choice faster than men. All right. If a woman wants to have a baby, she needs to try to do that before a certain age. When she's coming out of her prime, a man is going into his prime. All right. A woman's prime is when she's young in her youth. She doesn't really gain the wisdom in order to teach and things like that until she is older, way older. Young men, you constantly keep falling on your face. The discipline is what's going to keep you on the right track. And once you get there, you will be older, but you are still able to, let's just say, have kids. By that point, you should be 10, 15 years when you're about age 35, 40. You should be about 10, 15 years into a trade, some knowledge, understanding of how the world works. You should be on your way. All right. Around this time, a woman's looks will start to fade about 40. This is when a woman starts to gain wisdom after she's fucked up or when her looks start to fade. And that's just the honest truth. I'm not talking about knowledge as far as school. I'm talking about actual wisdom. Why do you think it's so important for mothers to be in a church? I'm just using a church example here. Everybody has a role to play. The deacons and the pastor are supposed to be the ones that are leading up the young youth of the men in the church. The mothers are supposed to be there to help train and get these women to understand certain things about the world. Because there's nothing worse than a woman or anybody, for that matter, that is going through the world blindly. There's nothing worse than that. You going through blindly, now you done seen it's been 20 years has done passed you by and you have nothing to show for it. No kids, you may have a degree, but you spent all of your life in school. But look, I'm going to touch on a couple of those topics later on. I'm getting a bit ahead of myself here. But understand, fellas, protect your seed. Jaden and what's the girl's name? Willow. They're grown now. All right. Fellas, not only protect your seed, but protect your family. And the only way you can do that is to make sure that you are in the proper mindset and position and you have enough wisdom to not only lead, but to understand what's going on and see things before it happens. Like I said, I blame Will because he's the one that's supposed to control the structure, not his wife. A woman, a woman that's still in love with a man that is so-called dead. I mean, damn. Motherfucker that ain't even here got more power than Will. Ain't that some shit? But look, I'm going to catch up with y'all. Peace.